Good afternoon, friends. We are here to basically address on the issue of Durga Shakti, and the second matter is about the FDI rules which have been altered by the government yesterday. The first matter is that if we look at the entire episode of this young IAS officer of 2009 batch, and the manner in which the handling of the situation has been done by the SP government, it is very, very apparent that in Uttar Pradesh, the law and order situation is very badly affected for the reason that honest and upright officers are targeted unfairly by the government, and honesty is to be punished and gundagardi is to be rewarded. And it is in this entire circumstance that the whole sequence of events and circumstances need to be appreciated. If we look at the sequence, the only response of the government has been सांप्रदायिक माहौल बिगड़ रहा था, इसलिए उनकी suspension हुई है. But the truth is something else. The truth is there was illegal, unauthorized dredging which was going on the riverbed of Yamuna and Hindon. And she had actually seized many dumpers carrying sand and taken 80 lakh rupees worth of fine, collected that fine from these unauthorized people. She has been communicated to the government and she was told to basically withdraw some of that communication by putting unfair, unnecessary pressure on her. She refused to give in. Under those circumstances, this particular action has been taken against her. By doing this, and if I go further, the two ministers, one being Azam Khan and another gentleman, have made very communally colored statements. Azam Khan has said, Ram Naam ki loot hai, loot sake to loot, without referring to the next sentence being प्राण चले जाएंगे. So I don't expect Mr. Azam Khan to have the understanding or the philosophical background to appreciate and understand the nature of this spiritual message. The nature of this spiritual message is more in the nature of spiritual thought than the resources loot which Sapa government has been engaging itself with in protection of such people who are looting the country, who are looting the state. And the other gentleman has also made a very bragging remark that with 41 hours within 41 hours, I have had her suspended, and those tapes are also available with the media. And that kind of bragging which is going on by the SP ministers need to be relooked, revisited, and appreciated, leading to the suspension. So that is the real circumstance. And if we appreciate the entire episode, it's a two-way process. In fact, I heard someone else has made a statement very recently, a couple of hours ago, कि अफसरों की पूंछ टेढ़ी होती है. So I think जिन लोगों के दिमाग टेढ़े होते हैं, वही इस तरीके की भाषा का प्रयोग कर सकते हैं. End of the day, it's apparent that the SP government is indulging in illegal, unauthorized campaign against an honest officer by rewarding the ones who are actually working with them or have been co-opted by the SP government. And in this entire thing, the other statement, if we attack that particular statement where they have said that because सांप्रदायिक माहौल खराब हो रहा था, so I have two arguments for that. First argument is that जो सांप्रदायिक माहौल ख़राब कर रहे थे, आप उनके खिलाफ एक्शन लेंगे ना, जो ना कि उनके खिलाफ जो सांप्रदायिक माहौल को खराब होने से बचाएंगे जो ऑथराइज्ड हैं। और इस बीच में जब से सपा की सरकार बनी है उत्तर प्रदेश में 27 राइट्स हुए हैं ऑन रिकॉर्ड। उसमें से उन्होंने कितने अफसरों को अब तक सस्पेंड किया है वो जानकारी भी मैं प्राप्त करना चाहूँगी। मेरठ के राइट में जहाँ पर एक 4 साल के बच्चे को मारा गया और एक एसीपी उस गोलीबारी में शामिल थे, क्या उनके खिलाफ एक्शन हुआ है? या ऐसे तमाम केसेस में जहाँ पर इनके अपने नेता उलझ रहे हैं सरकारी अधिकारियों के खिलाफ, उनके खिलाफ एक्शन हुआ है? सो एंड ऑफ द डे दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर issue of Durga Shakti again represents why law and order situation in Uttar Pradesh is going from bad to worse, because you are actually, as a government, protecting the wrongdoers and are punishing the ones who are taking action against the wrongdoers. The second aspect is about the FDI. Yesterday's news that in FDI the government has changed the rules. So all I can say is that this kind of flip-flop, and especially in retail sector, is showing the mindset of this government, that you make a rule which needs to be altered within 1 year and less than 1 year, and then the investment in the back support system in retail, especially when they said that we want cold storage and that kind of infrastructure to be developed in the country. And it is for this reason, because that was the main argument, it is for this reason that we want FDI in retail to be permitted and enhance the FDI in retail. Going back on the same argument today is very clear that they are going to bring in inventory into this particular aspect. And this kind of flip-flop, if we go to the policy which BJP has followed, and Mr. Narendra Modi, who's the campaign head of the BJP, has been emphasizing that we need to gain the faith and confidence of the Indian citizen when we are seeking FDI, and also the foreign investors. And we can assure that if we come to power, we will ensure that there is greater transparency in this system, and Indian citizen is no way neglected, and only then can the confidence of the foreign investor also be boosted. So flip-flop in policy indicates that this government's non-seriousness and is busy engaging in policy drawbacks, because it has not succeeded in controlling the fall of rupee, bringing FDI, because no FDI has virtually come. So under these circumstances, the economic policy of a government is pathetic and is engaging in not the right policies, and the policies are actually against the interest of the country.